Hi everyone, it's Adam7Fish and in today's video we're going to be breaking down this Aquascape. Unfortunately the substrate's gone anaerobic and it's releasing toxins into the water column, so we're going to have to rescape it. And to be honest, I fell out of love with this scape quite some time ago now, and we've been dealing with too many algae issues for my liking, so I'm going to reset it up with some new rocks and new wood. So let's get into this. Right, so we've stripped down the original Aquascape, which was the hard part, caught all the fish, done that within 2 hours, cleaned out the tank, tried to clean it as best as I could. Obviously it's going to still look a little dirty, but it should look cleaner when the tank's filled up. Right, so we're going to start with something new. We're going to use the Tropica substrate as like a base layer of nutrients, and then we'll cap that off with the old substrate layer that we had from the previous setup. Finally cap it off with some sand. We're going to build this up and build some kind of hill. Spread this across evenly. You don't want this substrate layer being too thick with this soil, as apparently it's really nutrient dense. Right, so the next step is adding this old substrate layer to cap it off and also add a source of beneficial bacteria. Time to pour some sand on. And we're just going to make sure to push all this back, build up that height even more. It's always good to take a step back and look at your scape. And if you're not happy with it, then make sure that you take a step back and have that look. Otherwise you'll end up with a scape that you won't be best to please with. So I'm trying to build this wall around with some rocks around this piece of wood, and it's just about getting this barrier around, which is what I'm trying to achieve at the moment. Yeah, it's always good if you're unhappy to move things around, and I'm probably going to move these little pebbles just off to the sides. Right, so we've added our decorative gravel and we are now going to start planting the tank. We'll start off with the epiphytes, gluing them onto the wood, and then we'll fill up the tank with some water and start planting the cryptocorn, the background plants, etc. So let's crack on. So I'm using some aquarium safe glue. This is a cyanoacrylate 1. Next up, we're going to be adding some bucephalandra. I think this is Taya Green. Do correct me in the comments section below. So we've now attached all the epiphytes to the piece of wood. We're now going to start planting the tank. Here is the plant selection that we're going to be using today. A mix of cryptocorn, tiger lotus, balsinaria, rotala, camboba. Yeah, a nice good variety of different plants. So we're adding some tiger lotus in, or nymphea, some people. You don't want to fully submerge this plant either. Bulb has to be like semi-submerged. Next up is the Cryptolance. It's like a background crypt. Very tall cryptocorn too. Next up we're adding some Vallisneria, another background plant. It doesn't like being fully submerged well. Next up we're using Camboba. It's a really fast growing, nice red pinkish stem plant. Next up is Rotala. Next up is an ungodly amount of mixed different types of cryptocorns. We've added some botanicals to the tank, and the water is looking a lot more Blackwaterish than I expected this scape to look like, but I'll be honest, I think I really dig it. So, as you can see, we've opted for some Christmas moss. We're going to be breaking this down, putting it across the top of the wood. As you can see here, we've split the moss into different sections, and we're going to be gluing this over the top of the wood with some aquarium safe glue. Right, so it's been a month since I previously filmed the scape. A lot's happened since then. Obviously, we've had to let the wood sink, had to let the tank mature as well, and let the botanicals, stay in the water that slight bit more. We've changed some of the plants around too, so we've now got Rotala Walichi, which hasn't been doing too great, so in a future update we might have to change that. Some plants have died and not survived the move around from the previous scape to this setup, so I think the red tiger lotus didn't do too well. The bulb melted and went soft, so we're probably going to replace that in the near future. And we've also changed some of the inhabitants too, so we now have 4 more raccoon tetra, and they're a lot smaller than their adult companions, but they're schooling around now as they've reached that mature age where they're now recognised as part of the school, which is great to see. I'm really happy with how the scapes turned out and matured, and I've also recently changed the filter too to the Fluval 107. The flow on that has been outputting a lot, and it's really good because you get that flow coming back in where the fish are swimming into it, and it's triggering a lot of breeding behaviour with the Corydoras in the tank. So I'm really happy with that, and I'll keep you updated if there is any fry. But yeah, I'm going to leave you with some B-roll footage now and footage of the behaviour of the fish swim around in the tank. Until next time, thanks for watching, take care, I'll see you later, peace.